So coming to the topic, that is nutrition in plants, we will learn about the three main topics in this lesson: modes of nutrition, nutrition in plants, heterotrophic nutrition in plants. So let's start. The all living organisms, including microscopic organisms, human beings, animals, plants, birds, insects, all that have life, and are sustainable to live on Earth, perform some basic functions, and these basic functions are known as life processes. Uh, uh, the basic life processes of all living organisms are growth, nutrition, reproduction, excretion, and response to stimuli. You learn all these processes in class 6 in detail, and in this chapter you will learn about nutrition in plants. And plants can prepare their food by themselves. The process of taking in food and its utilization by the body is called nutrition. The term nutrition is derived from the Latin word nutrire, that means to nourish. The five nutrients that is required by the body is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, and vitamins. Nutrients are chemical substances present in our food which provide energy and materials by the body to live and grow. As you learned in class 6, food provides us with a number of nutrients which are necessary for the proper functioning of our body. To recall that the different nutrients are that I have told you earlier. Do you remember the nutrients which provide us energy and the roles which the different nutrients perform in our bodies? So let's start. Let's move on to the modes of nutrition. Living organisms show two modes of nutrition. They prepare their own food and is called autotrophic nutrition. The auto in this, auto means self and troph means nourishment. And the second mode, they take in ready-made food either from plants or from animals, and this is called heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means other and trophic means nourishment. Autotrophic nutrition is found in green plants. Some green plants prepare their own food through a process called photosynthesis. The leaves of these plants contain a green pigment or green color called chlorophyll. Without chlorophyll, food cannot be prepared by the plants. I'll tell you the reason why later on. Green plants are called autotrophic organisms or autotrophs. So, heterotrophic nutrition. All animals show a heterotrophic mode of nutrition because we can't make our own food. Heterotrophs are organisms that cannot manufacture their own food and derive from food from plants or animals or both. For example, to prove this, if you list all the food items that you eat during the day, at breakfast you eat a roti or bread. The both are made of wheat and this comes of plant. The egg, which has came from the hen, that is animal. Vegetables and fruit are obtained from plants. Milk, cheese, eggs, and meat, etc. Came from animals. Do you know that even some plants are heterotrophs, as they can eat insects? These are called insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants, however, also prepare their food as an autotroph. Based on the eating habits of heterotrophs, it is divided into three categories. First one, herbivores that eat only plants and are directly dependent on plants for their food. Carnivores, they are meat eaters and eat flesh of other animals. They are indirectly dependent on plants for food. Omnivores, these are animals that eat both plants and animals and are directly and indirectly both dependent on plants for food. The nutrition can be classified into this web chart. Nutrition in plants. Photosynthesis. Plants, as discussed above, are autotrophs. They prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis. Let us find out where is the food prepared in the plant body, what are raw materials which the plants use to prepare their food, and third, what is the chemical nature of these plants, of the food that is produced by the plants. Food is prepared or synthesized, both have the same meanings, by those plants which are green in color. And you know that why they are green in color, because of chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is present in the leaves, and sometimes when the plant is this much or this or longer than that, have chlorophyll in them, in stems. The process by which plants prepare their own food is called photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means to combine. During this process, plants absorb the sun's energy through the leaves and through the chlorophyll, and convert it into food energy using the raw materials from the atmosphere and soil. Thus, for photosynthesis, the following things are required: chlorophyll, the green pigment, sunlight from the sun. It is absorbed by the chlorophyll. It is and the chlorophyll is found in the organelles called chloroplast. The chlorophyll is because of the chloroplasts. Carbon dioxide, it is absorbed from the atmosphere by the leaves through the stomata. These are tiny pores present on the lower surface of the leaves. And the water, and the last one, water, it is taken up from the soil by the roots and are transported to the leaves through pipe-like structures called xylem, xylem, xylem. They are present throughout all the plant body. The chlorophyll containing cells of leaves, in the process of sunlight, use carbon dioxide and water to prepare food. Didn't you understand? The next screen will show an equation, and that is the equation for the plants. Seen that equation? So let's continue. Rules of leaves and photosynthesis. Synthesis of food, making of food, takes place in the leaves. In other words, it is the site of photosynthesis, and the leaves are also called as the kitchen of the plant. All four things, CO2, H2O, sunlight and chlorophyll, are required for this process, and they must reach the leaves. Sunlight is absorbed by the chlorophyll and is present in the leaves. Carbon dioxide, it is absorbed from the stomata, which is also present in the leaves. The third one, chlorophyll that is already present in the chloroplast, and the fourth, water. It is absorbed from the roots, from the root hair present in the roots, and is transported to the all the leaves through xylem. They are pipe-like structures. What happens in plants with reduced leaves, like the desert plants? In desert plants like cacti, leaves are reduced to two spines. This prevents or reduces the loss of water by transpiration. The stem in these plants becomes green. Is green to carry out photosynthesis. The chlorophyll seen in microscope, the stomata seen in microscope, we can see the stomatal opening, and it is surrounded by two kidney-shaped guard cells. These guard cells control the opening and closing of the stomata. What happens in plants with red, brown or violet leaves? For example, money plant or croton plant, they are red and violet. In all such leaves, green color is also present in addition to red, brown, yellow and other pigments. The amount of red, brown, yellow or other pigments is very high in comparison to the chlorophyll, and therefore these pigments cover the green color. These pigments, the red, blue, yellow and other, so we can't see that they are green, but they contain that green pigment. The leaves of these plants are called variegated leaves. Remember that photosynthesis will not take place in the white portions of such leaves. Common examples are those of money plant and croton and coleus. Do you know that only the photosynthesis is not only important for plants? Yes, it is also important for us, for all the animals to live on Earth. Imagine the type of Earth which has the absence of photosynthesis. In the absence of photosynthesis, life will not be possible, as there would be no food available. In the absence of food, the living organisms will not be able to perform life processes, and herbivores would be not able to eat the food, would not be able to eat the food and and the carnivores, as you know that all the living organisms are dependent directly or indirectly on the plants for food. The carnivores and omnivores will die in the absence of photosynthesis. The second reason, oxygen, a byproduct of photosynthesis, will not be released. If it is not released, the animals would not be able to respire, and perform respiration. Without respiration, no living organism can survive. Photosynthesis maintains a balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This balance will be disturbed in the absence of photosynthesis. Thus, life would not be able to without photosynthesis. Similarly, if the sun does not rise for a few months, photosynthesis will not take place and the balance of gases will also be disturbed. So, coming to the next topic, that is heterotrophic nutrition in plants. So, you know that now you know that the autotrophic nutrition in plants. Now comes the heterotrophic nutrition. uh, Not all the plants contain the green pigment chlorophyll. So how do they make that? So how do they make the food? uh, how do these plants take the nutrition? Like humans and animals, such plants depend on the food prepared by other plants. This is called the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic plants are of four types: parasitic, saprophytic, insectivorous or carnivorous, and symbiotic plants. Parasitic plants. Para means other, cytic means dependent. The non-green plants which live on other living organisms and obtain their food from them are called parasitic plants. The living organism from which a parasite derives its food is called the host. Let me show you by an example. So this I will make as this will make folded, and this is parasite, and this will open. This is the host. Host is the organism from which a parasite derives its food. So this is a parasite and this is a host. So the host is preparing its nutrition, and here comes a parasite. This traps it, and so the parasite traps it, and this plant makes nutrition, and this takes its nutrition because it can't make its food. So this suffers, and this takes its food. These are the hostoria. Hostorias are the parts of the parasite that reaches the host and takes the nutrition. So moving to another. So how do you like my hand show? Sorry if it's bad. The common examples of this plant are cuscuta, dodder, amarbel, etc. etc. Second is saprophytic plants. Sapro means decaying matter, and phytos means plant. The plants which live and feed on dead and decaying organic matter are called saprophytic plants. Many bacteria and fungi like mushrooms, molds, and yeast are saprophytic plants or saprophytes. Saprophytes, like other heterotrophic plants, lack the green color. Saprophytic fungi secrete digestive juices on the dead and decaying matter and convert it into a solution. The nutrients are then absorbed from it. Fungi are commonly seen during and after rains. Hot and humid weather favors the growth of fungi. All mushrooms, however, are not edible. When you visit a supermarket, you can find whitish umbrella-like structures being sold. These are the mushrooms. Do you notice that your unused shoes or school bags left in hot and humid weather for a long time, that is in the summer vacation or love summer vacation? Where was I? Hot and humid weather for a long time, we'll find that white patches appearing on them. These white patches are fungi. Singular, it is called fungus, and plural, it is called fungi. So next topic is insectivorous or carnivorous plants. Insectivorous plants are green in color, and they can also they can also make their own food, but to take the but to take in the but to take in the nutrition which is required, they eat insects. So they are both uh, insect heterotrophs and autotrophs. They grow in the some plants grow in the these plants grow in the regions which is deficient in nitrogen. That means that the region lacks the nitrogen. The plants growing in such areas need to obtain nitrogen from outside sources, that is insects. Insectivorous plants have developed special structures to catch insects. In a pitcher plant, the pitcher-like structure from a is modified part of a leaf. The leaf tip is modified to form a lid which can open or close the mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher, downward pointing hair are present. When the and these are brightly colored, and these plants are brightly colored. They attract insects, and when insect sits on the pitcher, the lid closes, and the insect is trapped in the hairs. Then the plant secrete digestive juices, and the insect is digested by the body. Now coming to the last topic, but not least, symbiotic plants. Plants which will live in association with other plants and share shelter and nutrients are called symbiotic plants. This association between two different plants is called symbiotic association, a symbiotic relationship. Both the plants benefit from this symbiotic association. Examples: certain fungi live in the roots of trees. The tree provides them nutrition, and in return, the fungus provides certain nutrients from the soil to the tree. In lichens, also a symbiotic relationship is seen. There is an association between a green algae and a non-green fungus. The fungus provides shelter, water, and minerals to the alga. The alga, in return, provides food to the fungus. The alga, being green, prepares food by photosynthesis. So our chapter is over. We'll see in the next topic, in the next video. Please subscribe, share, comment, and like this video. So bye bye.